Alrighty. So kind of just recapping off of last week, it was essentially the transition from the young Reyna to the Senti, and essentially assigned some homework where we're making this little skeleton structure on defense to fast rotate. You sent me all of your little pictures here. I guess I want to check in and ask you how that feels. Are you running into any problems? Anything feel good at all? Like, what's your initial impressions?
Initially, it is really nice to have that plan, or like have those plans that I've at least thought about beforehand. I think that just winging it after that, so like all of the attack, and if I mentioned this to you privately, but like if my team is yelling at me to go to the other site because we already have another sentinel on one site that I have my setup, for example. So it gets a little trickier for me, but maybe it's also helpful, like in the long term, to think of, oh, if it's placed this way on B, like what would make sense to have on A, and why. So
like
maybe
first principles type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say you have a specific half that you're more comfortable on? Like I would assume defense would be more comfortable than attack.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. On defense, one of the big things that the skeleton structure was ideally supposed to help with is letting you feel confident in fast rotating. Do you think that has happened?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, that's good. And on attack, the only thing we really talked about for attack was like the whole lurking one-on-one thing with the tempo 1, 0, 1, and 2. I guess, did you have any positive experiences with that at all?
I haven't really taken it or applied it to my games, I guess I should say. I've mostly just been trying to get back into the habit of fast rotating and going back with the team.
Gotcha. So a bit more of a defense implementation this week, which definitely makes sense on the Sentinel perspective. Okay. That sounds good. Maybe then this Ascent game where we're starting an attack would be interesting, but I'd be a bit more curious on starting defense first and flipping back to attack for that case. Okay. But in terms of map selection here, I mean, if you're just looking at the stats, the Killjoy stats look a lot better. I mean, we're definitely getting more kills. Well, maybe not more kills to say, but like our KD is higher, which I would assume is just due to us being maybe a bit more in control. And hopefully this number will translate a bit higher. I know at the start, it was like, the win rate has been climbing. I've been keeping tabs over the course of the week. So it is slowly climbing. And I mean, we are kind of like frying. So it's really only a matter of time at some point, I think, where this win rate will flip to be positive. But we'll definitely double check by looking at the VODs today to see if there's any tweaks that need to be made. And also, I forgot to start sharing chat, so press button. But let's go ahead and take a look at defense first, which this game was a 13-6 game. So it looks like it's going to flip over. Oh, we actually had a 6-6 attack half. So we win every single round on defense. That's kind of crazy, actually. Let's go ahead and hop into it, though. Of course, we got the young setup here. Boom. And we're playing spawn rotate, which is completely valid, especially because we have, what do you call it? The 2B side. So let's see how this plays out here. Speed this up a little bit. Okay, smoke B. Turret hasn't shot though. Okay, there we go. Fast rotate. It's an odd spawn smoke here. Very odd spawn smoke. Okay. Wow. Very odd spawn smoke.
Spike planted.
So far, so good. We are ending up playing in a retake. Oh, this guy here. Okay, nice.
On site, Gecko.
Okay. Walk me through your thought oh, we were 18-6 attack, nice. Walk me through your thought process on this starting position and how you felt about it after watching it back.
Well, this was starting position that I picked up starting with Reyna when we were first working on the middle 80-20, and then it's just felt more comfortable, even though I'm not getting possibly first kill, because especially on a pistol round, no one's really gonna come in from mid, or at least in my games they haven't. So it's just quicker for me to go to B or A depending on wherever we hear something happen first.
Gotcha. Do you recall at all on where Nat's starting position would be? I forget if you sent me the VOD for this, if I just made this one.
No, I can't remember. I
yeah,
think
okay, that
maybe
makes
he
sense.
was in market.
Okay. Just quickly taking a look, because I think I made this one, so I don't know if you actually looked at a VOD for this, but he typically starts towards B to throw this early molly here, and that's only a molly you can do off air. Now, in your case, you don't have a molly, but let me just go ahead and show you, so we're all on the same page here.
Oh, I guess that is something that I've struggled to do, is placing the mollies, because I get scared. I think, like, what if I need it for a few, like if they go the other side.
The other side, yeah. It's pretty typical for sentees to keep one like piece of util in their pocket. So for example, if you do this early molly, you might save the second one for a retake. Or if you're playing Cypher, you would have one cage here and then you'd keep your other one in your pocket. If you're playing Vice, you use one thorn on the choke and kind of save the other one, like so on and so forth. But kind of what I'm trying to highlight here is it's pretty typical for Nats to do this early molly so that it guarantees B main control, and this turret will then spot for info. And while this molly is kind of doing its thing, he will then rotate and go from there. So to quickly highlight this, and the reason I'll backpedal a second. I'll go ahead and show you the round first, and then I'll talk about a bit more on the why. Let's see here. Here we go. So we have a couple of good rounds I want to show you first, but let's start with the fast rotate. I have been to the barber. My hair is short. So here's this early molly, fast rotate. Teammates are calling A, they rush A with the Phoenix ult. He looks up from his phone. Rotate A. The quality's a little bit bad, but and now he's here for the hit, and there's a good spam line here. He kills 2. Okay, so obviously those kills are insane, but the point I'm trying to highlight here is just quick rotate. Now we have kind of 2 different rounds that I want to show you. Here's one. Same molly. They try to break the molly here in the sheriffs. So then he's like, oh, he asked for the Sova for the dart. Boom. And now he's just fighting. So now we kind of have like the split test here. If early molly and there's no noise here, and maybe there's A pressure, fast rotate towards A. And if he mollies and there's noise here, he will try and fight it. And then his turret will allow him to walk wide B main, because when this guy peeks, he's going to peek into the turret first, which if you're past it, it basically draws their attention. You're likely to get this kill.
Gotcha.
Also, it slows him down. So he ends up overheating and dying here, but that is pretty good. And just to show it one more time, same thing. He does it off rip this round, I believe. Doesn't do the molly this time. He just walks up because he's on eco round. Asks for the dart. He's running away. Ask it 4 more times. Finally, he gets it. Then he alphas the fuck out of this Killjoy, eating the turret, and just one taps him. But what's the highlight of this? The highlight of this is the fact that as a Sentinel, you kind of have the polarizing playstyles, the fast rotate or the anchor / a contest extremity. On a map like Ascent, it's pretty common for the Killjoy to play B main rather than B site. Whereas on A site, it's a lot more common for the Killjoy to play A site rather than A main. So it's a little bit of a different dynamic on how you play that bomb site. Whereas on Lotus, you almost never, as Killjoy, contest C mound unless you're going for like a quick shot and falling off, or you're supporting a teammate. But on Ascent, it's very common for you to contest B main. So that's kind of the 2 things we're seeing here. Of course, there's obviously some other rounds I could show, but the reason why to backpedal, why I'm highlighting this, is because his starting position allows him to be towards the site. So naturally, he's going to be in front of the smoke when they hit the bomb site. Whereas for us, we were playing a fast rotate position, which is still good, but it put us behind this Omen smoke, which is a bit more rare for a Sentinel to be. Because if you think about it, it's pretty hard for the Killjoy to get through the smoke here, which is probably why you sat behind it. Whereas if you're playing Reyna, you have that blind that you can go through or use to go through the smoke. If you're playing Clove, you can smoke for yourself to run out. But as a killjoy, it's very difficult. So it's important to bias yourself slightly towards the bomb site that you're playing, so that if they come to your site, you can actually get in front of the smokes and ideally get onto site. And to show that, I will show this round here. So he does the same start. I'll speed it up slightly. Oh wait, I can't because it's Twitch VOD. Early molly. This time he rotates towards mid because they darted mid, so he's going to where the pressure is. So now he's right here to fight mid. And Sova didn't break the dart for this jet, so now he's staring at him. And he dies. So now he's probably mad at Sova, but whatever.
Close short one.
His turret broke B main, so his Sova is re-droning B because now they don't have the info. But his Sova would not know to drone B unless his turret broke, so that's why we do the aggro turret. I wish you could see the mini-map here. But he's droning B. Phoenix walled.
Yeah, let's pick.
He's getting orb. So at this point, they got the pick mid, and they are now making B pressure. So if you're looking at the heat map on like a mini map, you need to kind of think about it as they haven't shown any pressure A. They're showing pressure in these two rectangles here. So just keep that in mind. Pressure is here and here. So as a defender, that's kind of what you need to be thinking about. So now he's looking to fight one of the lanes and get info on one. So now he quickly peeks mid, sees one. Now he's just going to fight this guy because his Omen is walking off of Cat here. You see him? Boom. So now he's taking this fight, and thankfully he wins it. But this is him just fighting where the pressure is. He's also fighting in front of his alarm bot, which a lot of Sentinels are like, oh my god, I can't believe he's doing that. But it's because they're down a man, and Nats is very proactive. But this is the more important thing I want to show you here, is the fact that he is now repositioning onto B site. Notice how he's slowly walking over here, because he killed the mid player and they made B pressure, so he's expecting a B. And guess what? As soon as that smoke fades, the Phoenix popped the ult, and now he's on B site for the hit. And this is where ideally your positioning as a Sentinel will be, is best case scenario, you're on the site when they hit the site. Unless they have crazy ultimates or something, then obviously it's not ideal, but you want to be on the site. So he's looking for the Sova dart here. It's pretty common for killjoys to do this. Broke the dart immediately, and then now he's playing his spot here off the Omen contact potentially, or just off of noise. He's being very patient. His Phoenix is ulting through spawn. He gets the contact off of his Sova, gets that trade, and then now he fights front site off of the Phoenix ult, and it's a good side hold. But we didn't get to have this, and I don't expect you to have this on pistol round at all, by the way. I just want you to see, hopefully, the impact of number one, his proactive play by fighting mid there, but number two, the fact that he's on site when the hit happens. And we don't get to have that when you're playing this specific fast rotate position. Now, here's the asterisk. You can play that position, maybe mark it even, or even in that spawn spot, if you have this molly. Because if they make that B pressure and your turret breaks, then you activate your molly, and then the smoke from your teammate comes up, and then you have time while your molly is active, and pretend like there's a smoke there for you to run back onto site. On pistol round, obviously we don't have that molly, so as soon as his turret breaks, they're just going to run it down, and you'll be behind the smoke. But let me kind of just go back. Let's say right here, round starts, turret breaks, you just run over here, activate the molly, boom, smoke's coming up, and then that molly is going to give you time to get onto site. You see?
Yeah.
So that would be ideal scenario. Like I said, in this case, we don't have the molly. But I know I kind of covered maybe a lot, but I guess my question to you is, does that make sense? And do you have any questions?
So do you think I should be playing more on site rather than in the middle now that we've switched roles?
Yeah, so the Sentinel is definitely more biased towards playing towards site for sure. I think if you have your molly there, I'm okay with you playing here.
Okay.
But I think in general, it is going to be important for you to play towards the B site so that you can do that aggro B main contest that we saw Nats do on the Sheriff round, where he ego chowed that turret and fought that. You'll probably find more success playing towards the sites rather than fast rotating from mid. I think what I was trying to highlight, and this is probably my error here, I was wanting you to feel confident in fast rotating, but starting on our part of the map. And that was lost in translation, I realize now. But yeah, traditionally you will want to be towards your site so you can play for the site hold if they come. And then that's step one. Most Sentinels are there. I was probably overemphasizing the fact that you should be fast rotating on Sentinel because most Sentinels don't get to step 2. So we kind of skipped step 1, and that was definitely my error because I was emphasizing step 2. So let's keep going. Where am I? Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at round 2. We do win every single round of defense, so something must be going right.
This one I was just too slow, destroyed. So
yeah,
I didn't go to my normal spot.
We are here though for the hit, so we end up not repositioning onto site, which is definitely something to consider. But they don't smoke us off, so it kind of works out. But yeah, in future, prioritize getting onto site more than being in a rotator position. So my question to you is, what is a rotator position?
Somewhere
or what
I
do you
can
think a rotator?
escape easily, maybe.
Okay, that is pretty valid. I'm gonna test that a little bit. So let's say I'm stairs. The escape path towards spawn probably wouldn't work, but realistically you would be able to escape towards backside potentially. So would this be a rotator position?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay. So here's a different way to think about rotator positions, and it's simply what the smokes are blocking. So I would define market and spawn as rotator positions, and tree and heaven as rotator positions, because when you're rotating, you are rotating into the smokes. In this case, you want to be in front of the smokes. So when I say site hold positions or getting on site, it simply just means being in front of the smokes, because you don't really have utility to get through the smokes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in this position here, when you're spawn, your turret breaks. Ideally, we would be positioned somewhere on site. So that might look like stairs. If you have a smoke, you might even go all the way into this little corner here. Some people really, really like this angle here. I don't know if you've played this one here, this little headshot angle.
Yeah,
it's actually
a little
pretty
tricky
insane
because of the stair, of moving up and down.
Yeah, this one I've seen pros play. They actually don't move. They just crouch here and they just like one tap everyone. I don't do that, so it's a bit more common for subos to play here with Odin, and then when they swing, they just hold down mouse 1. But yeah, that meta is probably not super valid anymore. But let's keep going. Your Omen does smoke, so thankfully they didn't make it out, which is great. Someone did trigger the alarm bot, but let's see how this round plays out. Obviously we won it somehow. Okay, they come out B. So this mid player. Okay. Guess they end A.
On B?
Yeah.
Rotating.
Confident rotate with the turret. Go down.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna retake.
30 seconds left.
I think we picked up a gun, by the way. Am I tripping?
I don't know.
Recalling my
Oh no.
boss.
Your Omen took it.
Cover going out.
Wow, what a smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. You landed on his head. You just boom this onto your teammate. Okay. Nice. Aim-wise, we're a little bit shaky, but that's okay. Not super pressed about mechanics at this point. I'm definitely a little bit more focused on the Sentinel gameplay, but maybe that's something we'll touch on at the very end if we need to. Okay. So we don't have the mollies down, which is definitely the thing to change here for sure. And then we would also be rotating off this turret break here. But this guy does end up picking mid on your alarm bot. So. Oh, your Phoenix is gonna die. What? Wait, is he in a smoke? He might be in a smoke.
Thanks, Botty.
I was about to say, this guy was like, no, yeah, he's in a smoke, okay. Okay, so we didn't get the fast rotate this round, but thankfully their hit is a little bit slow. That's probably why this game goes a little bit better than the other Ascent game we looked at. I think the other Ascent game we looked at, this Raze was literally running it down, and then like the Brim and the Fade util was in the smokes. But this is I would say an easy fix. Just have the mollies here and then play towards that B main area at the start, and then you're able to play on site. But we do have a couple mollies here. Gonna go A. Fast rotate. Most rounds that I saw Nats rotate on Killjoy, he would go tree. because the range on his alarm bot is in tree. Now I prefer going heaven on other agents, but yeah, Killjoy is a little bit restricted here.
Yeah. I think
But it's honestly fine for us to go heaven.
Usually I just pull them back like I just did, because if I mean, most of the time they're all just together, so then it's better to wait and I can use it again.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Spike planted.
Yeah, so we do end up going tree here, which is fine. Oh, we almost got that kill. Yeah, bait the omen. Let me go first. Yeah. Nice. We have ult.
My ultimate is ready.
Game running ult here. Oh wait, did it break for the molly? Oh. That would have been insane. Insanely unlucky. Okay, this should just be a round win now. W ult. Nice. Good. I like that we rotated. Nothing too crazy there. We got the molly here towards site. Nice. It's a good B. They should get demolished.
Some B.
This guy said some B, but it's actually A. All good. Let's rotate. Nero didn't make it on the site, which is fine. Our omen didn't stall long enough. Gecko ults here. Ooh. I would have ran through that nade like an idiot. Okay, one gen. Kill. Oh god, we didn't look hell.
One enemy remaining.
Surely he's hell. Yeah, he is hell.
Yeah.
That's okay, we win this. Okay. So far, the retakes have been very good from our team, which is definitely the anomaly. So I think part of why we're winning defense is because of that. But we are rotating a bit quicker than we did the previous game on some rounds, which is nice to see. They just go A again. So yeah, another retake. Our A hold's been pretty weak, but this is something that we just have to deal with. Oh, almost. We canceled our spray. At the very end there, empty. Spraying's a bit unnatural. I know we talked about it a couple times, so I don't want to talk your ear off on spraying, but do you feel a bit more confident on it now? Or this is gonna be a good round?
A little. I think that when I switch back to Vandal, then I go back to my bursting, but if I'm on the Bulldog or the Spectre, then I'm spraying all the time.
That is fair. Okay, so this is a good round to show us being on site. Oh no, we ran away! That would have been fire. Yeah, stairs is one of the most common spots for Killjoy. This little spot over here. But you're delaying well, at least. The two mollies are doing their job. Well, they don't end up committing. I'm surprised, actually. Very surprised. Okay, here we go. Well, your mollies did delay long enough for the smoke to fade, so, you know, our positioning actually kind of makes sense given that. But, yeah, definitely prefer us to be on site. Oh, these are some nice kills, though. Second one right here. Yeah, that guy got shit on.
I got eyes here.
Uh-oh. Nice. Your Gecko actually killed him.
Someone's B.
Okay.
Spike is B.
One B main, one site, looks like. Nice. Last one B main, I think. We'll look at this one site. Okay.
Enemy remaining.
Definitely a nice shot. I think the peaks could probably be a little bit wider, but
One enemy remaining.
I do like the effort we're putting in there.
Smoke.
Like taking your time, trying to slice the pie as much as you can.
You will not.
Oh, free kill, free kill.
One enemy
Yeah, we
remaining.
win. Okay. Let me go and quickly put some notes on defense here. Let's see. Killjoy, Ascent, defense. Try and start towards B main to do early molly in case you want to push it to fight. And then more importantly, try and reposition/position on site. Actually, position/reposition onto site, onto a site position if they're hitting the site, rather than being behind the smoke rotator. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Mollies can help delay to put you in these positions. Okay. Any questions about that? Nope. Okay. Let's take a look at T side. You did go 6-6 on T side, but you did win 18-6, so it's a good half for us. Attack really, since you didn't have much attempts at lurking, it sounds like, I'll probably just be looking a bit more closely at the molly usage here if we're using it to anti-flood, and maybe some mechanic stuff here. Let's see how this goes. Welcome with the homies. It's like the calm before the storm here. So they get contact, boom.
Enemy spotted mid.
So this would be a good time to molly. Let's see how we use our molly this round. Yep, here we go. Okay. Bounced off a bit rough, but it's there. We didn't activate it though. Okay, there we go.
Spike down B.
Yeah, I think I didn't know where it landed, so I was scared if it would like land on my teammate or something.
I gotcha.
Spike down B.
Yeah, there's a couple lineups you could do that you might feel confident about doing from this corner here. Are you familiar with this Killjoy ult when you go B?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, so I don't know if you can see on the mini map, but this Killjoy here covers the entire B bomb site. You used to put it in this corner, but now you can put it here and it still gets everything. So anyways, you put it here, which clears the whole site. So now you only have to worry about market and CT. So now you can just throw your mollies from here. So this bounces off the left side, and then this bounces off the right side. And then you'll see here, this molly stops them from running through, and this molly stops them from running through. So that's a pretty set execute you can do when you have ult. You just run over here, and then you come back here. And it doesn't even have to be that specific. You just have to basically bounce one molly off of the left side of this wall, and then one molly off the right side of this wall, and they'll land respectively here.
That's cool.
Very nice to do. You could do these on the round start as well. So, you know, your teammates are here, round starts, and then they're running up. You can just go ahead and throw your one molly here, and then now you can just run up, and then you can pop your molly if you want. If you wanted to do both, you definitely could. So your teammates are running up as you're throwing these two mollies, and then as you're running up, you activate your spawn one, you activate your market one, and then you're also here with them. So that makes the timing of everything just feel a little bit nicer than getting over here, getting spammed maybe, or getting shock darted, or it's just a little bit messed up. But one of the biggest ROI things you can do as a Killjoy on attack is learn molly lineups for this, for your site rushes, for the common flood spots. So we talked about it from the defender's point of view, but as attacker's point of view, basically you're just trying to molly the smokes. So that's what we did here. We mollied the smoke here and here, which actually is what happened on your Ascent game when you were playing the Rays against the Rays and the Fade and the Brim. They were doing a lot of anti-flood util. So your job on attack, at least one of the things you could do on attack, is obviously cover flank, but with your mollies, you can use it to anti-flood. So what does that mean when you're going A? Well, that means that it would be useful, potentially, for you to learn a molly for this tree smoke, because a lot of people like to run through that, and then maybe a molly for heaven smoke. So, now, I don't know the mollies, but just pretend like this landed tree, and then this landed heaven, and then you would hit the site. You know, it's kind of close. But yeah, something like that. You would ideally get a molly here and a molly here, and that is one of the highest ROI things you can do as a Killjoy on attack. So if you want, that could be a bit more homework. Just find some molly lineups for the anti-flood for each bomb site on each map. That would be 16 bomb sites, right? Because 2 on each, and then Lotus and Haven. I don't think there's molly lineups for Haven B though, or Lotus B. So I guess it would revert back to 14. Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, heard. Let's keep going. That would probably be better to look on YouTube rather than Twitch VODs, because pros don't really use them all too often. I know I just showed Nats doing that, but to be honest, he's more of a gun out type of player. So a bit more rare for him. Yeah, this round's gonna be hard to win here. Yeah, nice try. Let's keep going. Let me quickly write that down before I forget. Anti-flood mollies and smoke. Okay. I'm surprised that we're able to actually like coordinate a contact B. That's like very rare. Okay, so notice how we get contact spawn here. Let me go back. So we're walking at B. Typically, util should be used when contact happens, basically when you see the enemy player or vice versa. So this time the Sage shoots at our teammate, boom. At this point, after that shot, I'm thinking about using my molly to stop them from running out of the market smoke. Or throwing my molly CT to stop that sage from continuing to peek, which is a little bit dangerous because he has a marshal, but this is what you would jump throw if you're familiar with that. Probably not too much because you played Reyna all your career.
I haven't done it. I haven't tried it.
Gotcha. So jump throwing util is going to be pretty important as killjoy mollies. I learned the game playing Raze, so I pretty much jump throw like literally half of my kit. Jump throw a nade, jump throw a boombot. If this is a boombot, jump throwing boombot, jump throwing satchel sometimes. So it's very common for me to do. This could be something that you could learn maybe overnight, just practicing your jump throws. Like jump throwing itself is pretty easy, and then once you do it with your util, all it is pre-aiming, jump throwing, and then just left clicking on the as you come back. So yeah, you can get some reps on that, but that would be good to learn for sure.
Cover going out.
But yeah, in this case, I would probably molly market or spawn. And if you did molly market, that omen might not run out. Yeah, so this round's definitely going to be chalked. They had 3 on the bomb site, I think. Reyna on site, Gecko, Omen flooded in, Sage was there. Wait, that's 4. Omen knows market player. One tapped. All good. We're definitely struggling a little bit to get those headshots with the classic, but our movement looks pretty solid.
Or rotate.
Nice. Yeah, let's port raise.
Or no.
Wow, actually won this eco? Oh, never mind. Yeah, oh my god, we do. Holy shit.
One more.
Nice. I will say, I like the movement on the raise. Obviously, we could be hitting some headshots, but it's all good. Go for the catwalk here. I'm down. Oh, now we go back to main. Turret here is good. Normally, you use that turret so you can actually walk up cat yourself. Because this turret will hold your mid one. But yeah, we go for it. And if you were to do that turret to walk up mid, you'd want it slightly wider so that it covers a bit more. So like in this case, if you wanted to walk up mid, you would turret here so that it shoots before they see you, basically. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you just walk up like this. But we're going A main, which is fine. Oh, there's a sage wall here. Fuck. Okay, so here I would ideally molly the heaven. There's a gecko here. Oh, nice. He saw his molly, yeah. Yeah, he saw his feet, okay. Nice. We do molly heaven. Nice. You're already like kind of getting into the habit, which is very, very good. And we're
I'm using it like I used my leer, kind of, just to make space.
Gotcha. No, that's perfect. Shot on this guy too. Very nice. Okay, easy round to win. Go team go. Kill the omen too. Okay, mid turret again. Go back with the team. Team blind. Okay. This is kind of why it's good for you, specifically the sentinel, to walk up cat, because when they contest a main, they're like their attention isn't on cat, and sometimes you can find some timings. Sometimes you just die immediately, but other times you just get free kills. Okay. And this is pretty common for Ascent. I think Ascent might be the most defense-sided map in the game, and it's kind of because of this. It's very hard to get through the choke points. Oh, we didn't get our ults. That would have been good. Killjoy ult's very good on this map. Very, very good. But we are walking up cat. Nice. Good kill by the omen.
Shadows traveling.
Alarm bot something. Okay. I know we put it in the smoke or outside of the smoke, but this is fine too. Good molly. I like the util. It seems like you're definitely like conscious of what you're using, so that's good. Ah! Okay, well we weren't conscious of the spawn guy, but that's okay. Honestly, you don't have to close the door in the B splits because you have your alarm bot there. Most of the time, it's actually more common for you to stay in market if you have the site. It's also true for A. Like if you split A, think about it more like this. You spent so much time and effort to take this space, but a lot of players will close the door and then they just lose the space they took. But the better play most of the time is just to stay here or like stay here, or even to the extreme end, like you would stay towards cat and then you kind of shoot them in the back of the head. But you don't want to give up the space you work so hard for, basically. So you work so hard for market there, but we tried to close the door and we left market.
Gotcha.
But that's more of a map thing, not a sentinel thing. Let's 2x this. This would be a great round to kill Joel here.
I can secure.
Oh yeah, nice. You're using the window for your molly, so it's perfect. Yeah. Killjoy ult, you pretty much want to use it within 1 or 2 rounds you get it. So either the round you have it or the round after, depending on if they have eco, like pistols or whatever. But it's just a really good ult. Like it's, I don't want to say it's a free round, but normally it's a free bomb site. Oh, I can't believe this guy's in a spawn, dude. Right over to today. This is kind of already a weird round, but let's see if you win it. It's gonna be a great round to Killjoy ult too. If you can get them off bomb. Yeah. Hey, your ult actually might get broken here. You baited him though. We should win this. Yeah, no time. Oh, nice. It's a huge kill. Run! Okay, nice. Definitely a strange round because our omen just TP'd, whatever. That's not standard. Yeah, same thing. Walking up cat here would probably be nice. But we're with the Hobie, so. There's so I'm telling you to, I told you at the start, maybe like one of the highest ROI things you can do is learn a molly for the floods. But then I'm also telling you to go for a lurk. Specifically the walk up cat. So Baby J or Inspire has this thing where, I might have shown you this before, but I'll just quickly state it again if I haven't, or if I have just to reinforce it. But he has something like his turret here, and then he'll run all the way back around, and then he has like a molly lineup from here, just pretend like I know it, that lands in the tree smoke. Let's just pretend like this is it. And then he will walk up cat. So he does have an anti-flood molly, so it landed up here somewhere. But pretend like it landed there, he activates it, so he's getting that first part, and then his turret's watching his thing, and then his B push, and then he walks up cat here. So he's kind of doing a little bit of both.
That's crazy.
He's the only player that I've seen do that. It's a little bit nerdy, but it's a good way to do it. So you definitely don't have to have that B main turret. You just put your turret here and then do that lineup. But it's a good way to get a little bit of both. Because otherwise, if you go for the slurk, your molly's not in play, and obviously that it could be nice to have it, but yeah, something you could do. Let's see, plays out. So much stall here. Poor guy.
Multiple enemies
Oh, nice try. Hopefully you can kind of see why that Heaven Molly would be useful, because this Omen wouldn't be in play right now.
Yeah.
But regardless, this whole site hit's gonna be rough, so that's also why we want to be walking up cat. It's just a sentence in a nutshell here. Which, if I recall, is something we were struggling with when we were playing Reyna, but...
30 seconds left.
Wow, we're getting good kills. I love it. Ah, 1 bullet!
Spike down A.
Close right.
I got the spike.
Oh, let's try. That guy's alpha. Okay. Just scrubbing through attack. I think the biggest thing on attack so far is either to lurk and walk up somewhere else, or if you're with the team, to find anti-flood mollies. I know I talked about Baby J or Inspire like doing both, but I would say it's either or.
Okay.
Do
you think that would be map specific? Like which one I would choose?
I think so. I also think it's bomb site specific too. Like Icebox, you can find mollies like that, but like you don't really have mollies like that for B. So like you might find a bit more value on when your teammates go B on Icebox to just go for a lurk. But on A, it is pretty nice to have those mollies to stop the flood, because A is a very fight-heavy bomb site. So you might find a bit more success going with the team if your teammates go A. But there's obviously nuance to that too. But I do think it's like map/bomb site specific for sure.
Okay.
Which is something that you can really only learn through repetition, I think.
Yeah.
And trying it out. But like for example, coming B here and going with the team does tend to work pretty well, whereas going up cat against A, like not using the molly lineup, so just going on A split tends to work better. That's more so because it's easier to actually get into cat compared to getting into market. So wow, this guy is crazy. That's a nice kill.
Fire in the hole!
Oh my god, he pushed through A. I was trying to figure out where that came from.
My ult's not ready.
Spike down B.
They're both 1 HP. We should win
Last
this round.
player standing.
Oh no, I got killed.
One enemy.
Nice. 1v1.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Oh, we're fucked. Oh, we're not. Wish you could make it to A. We
Seconds
should have
left.
sprinted A there, but
Yeah, I didn't know if I had time, and then I was going to go through market, but I forgot he closed the door.
the door
so-
closed. Yeah. All good. That's a experience thing. Let's see. I don't want to take too much time on attack because I do want to take a look at the other map too. But very quickly, I also just realized this is the turret we're doing. The more common turret is this one here because it covers the B push and it sees through mid. So
Mm,
it's a more common turret to just do in general, and it's closer. You can see the range, so you can actually play on site a little bit, or you can play
Yeah.
B main. Whereas this one, you don't have it. So if you were to do a mid turret, then you would basically this just means that you're like holding B space. So you probably have like an alarm bot here or here, and then you put your turret here. For some reason, I can't get it. I'm short. There we go. So that would be the turret if you're going mid. And then at this point, you might like Molly Cat. Normally what I do is, because this turret sees all of this, I walk over here, and then I will Molly right side Cat from here. Then I just hold for this. Then this turret has my mid one, and yeah, you're kind of chilling. So if you wanted to go mid, this would be a good utility to use. Let's see how this round plays out.
Reloading. Down.
They booked thing. I guess that's the raise. These guys are crushing everything.
yeah, it's always been the race.
Cover going out.
Playing no fear. Alarm bot flank.
Placing alarm bot.
Put the alarm bot slightly deeper behind you, but I think you're still in range and sight too. Molly's for spike. Typically, I don't advise mollies on spike. I'd rather you do it on choke points. But it is really good in certain rounds to have the molly on the spike.
Alarm bot down.
But in this case, 5v3, probably better just to have it on the choke points.
Oh, okay. I got yelled at my teammates for not mauling the spike, so I was like, now I'm making
Yeah.
sure that I do that.
That's like a low elo thing. Like most killjoys I see throw like 2 mollies on the bomb, but
Bomb grenade out.
you know, the other win condition is just not to let them take the site in the first place. Okay. I think we've seen enough of attack. It's going to be more or less the same things. So I would say, or actually, 2 things to do on attack: anti-flood mollies and smoke when you're going with the team. And then I'll take an example screenshot for these. Okay. This is one. Or lurk and find space elsewhere. So again, for example, screenshots. We'll go with the simple one, turret here, and then you will walk up tree. And then your turret's obviously going to go down when you're here. And you're just looking for, hopefully, a kill on player playing close. Or you continue walking through glass, something like this. Sometimes people will walk in the tree smoke, but for now, I'll just leave it kind of like this. Give you a bit more options. Okay. Potentially to pitch the site. Oh, actually, let me fix this because I do want to include your teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like this. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Okay, cool. And I do want to contrast this with Lotus. Just because I wanted to see a map that's drastically different in terms of how it plays. So Ascent on defense for Killjoy is very much contest early B main. Lotus, you don't really have that. Lotus is a lot more like, if you come C, I'm going to destroy you with my mollies. And like I'm rotating between kind of like exactly, oh wow, Corrode's maps on here. I'll take a look at that. Rotating between like waterfall, like this little link area. Like a lot of killjoys live in this area here on this map, or like this pillar. It would be, if you're playing a full site C-hold, like Bend is definitely the better spot, but it's honestly pretty rare for killjoys to play that. So the setup that I believe you had was this line bot.
Yeah.
Here, and then I think a molly. We had a molly somewhere. I forget it was this or this, but yeah, something like that. So let's go ahead and see. In C. Okay, double.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think I use them because I'm too scared.
Heard. Turret. Alarm bot. Boom. Okay. Now we're chilling.
Placing alarm bot.
Okay. Honestly, this alarm bot's kind of hard to hit, but you'd want it to cover like no gaps. So like the edges would cover both of these. That honestly seems hard to do. Maybe it just takes reps. Let me quickly load into Lotus. Let's keep going though. Immediately dead A. So sad.
Spike down A.
Okay. Rotate. Going heaven. I'm down.
Someone's A.
Spike
Normally I
planted.
retake through stairs, but heaven's good.
One
Oh,
enemy
nice.
remaining.
I don't know this guy. Did we see him? Just drop apparently. Oh, nice.
I
Heaven
think
worked
that's
out.
the first time that I've used that gun also. I didn't know what to
Really?
expect.
I see. The frenzy is honestly, it's fire. It used to be so good, and then they nerfed it, and then they buffed it again with the ammo count. It's pretty nice. It's basically like a pocket stinger.
Mm. Yeah, I wasn't
But-
sure if I was gonna be able to, like, if it was crazy with the recoil,
The recoil.
or something. I was like,
it honestly is.
just praying it would work. And it
Yeah.
did.
No, it did. Pretty good pistol. You don't really see people buy it too much anymore, but there was a time where everyone was on the frenzy because you could buy light shield and frenzy. Now it's 450. You see, it used to be 400. So you'd have 125 health and a frenzy. It was just disgusting. It definitely seems like it's hard to land. There probably is like some form of lineup or something. Like you start in the barrier, you look somewhere, and then you immediately place it. But I like that you're lining it up.
Hey.
Rotate the life.
Go.
Okay. Wow, 2v5.
Spike planted.
Wow, that was a nice shot.
Last player standing.
Another frenzy in the game. Oh. Nothing to change. Report team for losing A. Cross rotate C. Okay, let's change this. Am I in the game? Thank God. Okay. Okay, so first off, you have your turret here. We didn't get the alarm bot down, but
Yeah, I was
pretend like
just
your alarm
saying.
bot's already down somewhere. But let's just say that you didn't use your molly because you felt like it was being wasted. And you're playing here as fast rotate. You can use this pillar here as a thing to bounce your molly off of. Oh, just kidding. Let me try that again. Use this pillar again, and then you can land it on the choke point. So I guess Killjoy Molly doesn't have as much oomph as a Viper Molly because I could throw the Viper Molly from all the way back here, but you probably have to run up all the way here and throw it. But that will be a better use of your time rather than throwing the alarm bot here. So just get this Molly down, and then yeah, that's it. For other agents, you have to use this little thing here, but it doesn't land like as cleanly. It just lands on your side. So
Yeah.
I almost always prefer to land it off of the pillar here. So it lands in the middle, nice and centered.
Out.
Oh, this poor Brim. We didn't make it through the smoke to help him. So same thing on Ascent. We're not making it through the smoke. He could use the assistance here. This the smoke almost never, like it almost ends like here most of the time. So you almost always can go through and take this angle here, which is very common for killjoys to fight because we're almost always in this like little link area. So try and get pretty comfortable taking this angle here, taking these fights. I will say I don't really win them a lot, but I've gotten owned by the player here a ton. Saucy, when he plays Fade, he'll like rotate back here and he'll take the fight from here. So maybe if you prefer that, you can do that. But good fights for you to take.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Swarm grenade out.
Placing swarm grenade. Found the swarm grenade out.
Spike planted.
Okay. You can spam the lane too on this map. It's just like the planner.
Reloading.
They can't plant safely on this bomb site at all, so you can spam like, I don't know if you've seen it in the matches, but most people plant like here-ish or here, and that's all spammable through this. So you can even spam it on attackers, but as a defender, you can try and counter. Like you hear the plant, it's like, oh, he's here, try and get that kill. Most of the time you don't get the kill, but you get some chip damage.
Yeah, or at least
In sight.
Yeah. That's right. Nice, good spray.
Terminated. Reloading.
Okay, nice. One site, one unknown. Chamber's probably left side.
One
Yeah, he
enemy
is.
remaining.
Nice. And surprisingly, we're winning a lot more retakes than I would have expected. Like between the two maps. Sorry. Every time I click, it doesn't
Alarm bot out.
2x it with my spacebar.
Target destroyed.
It's 1B.
Yeah.
This is kind of why I thought initially that there was a molly on B and a molly on C, because if they break that turret immediately like that, if you pop the molly, you might buy yourself time to rotate. But
Targets destroyed.
I mean, I could try doing that, but I don't think
they're
actually, I can pull
probably,
them up.
yeah, I don't know if this is what he does, but I would imagine if I were playing, this is like my most basic setup would be, okay, alarm bot gets activated. Let me pop this one. Like well, technically I'd be here, right? But like I would alarm bot C, and then like if I hear some noise, well, let me back up. So like I would alarm bot immediately off barrier somewhere deeper, like this. And then if I hear them C, like they use util, then I'd probably back up and throw this molly, and then I would probably get onto site, like maybe back pillar or reposition here. Then I'll have that molly for that. But if they aren't C, then maybe I wouldn't throw that molly, but I would have that B molly, and then as I'm throwing this alarm bot, if they go B, I can activate this, and then I can try and rotate in. Potentially. Most of the time, they just disrespect the molly and dash through it anyways, but at least separates the jet. Dang, they hit B though, and our teammate still died A. That sucks. Nice. Holding the push was good. Crosshair placement is literally slightly too low, but you almost got the inside
I'm
shot
on the
there.
stairs, so it's confusing. for
Spike
me.
planted.
Placing
Heard
swarm
that.
grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Nice. Punishing the pushes. Alright, close right, one main. Nice, good movement. Yeah, we're doing pretty good there. Couple mollies to learn. If you bounce it off this little thing here, lands like on this side, which is quite nice. Other molly you might want to learn is you'd have to kind of peek it a little bit, but when I play Raze, I just jump through it, and then it just lands down here for this guy. Depending on how you angle it, you can get it complete in the pit. You could probably just aim this one though if you wanted, like this. But those are good ones I like to do. So I really like to do this one here when I play Raze, just to kind of get this corner. And I think mollies go through walls. Yeah, so you could technically have a molly here to stop this plant. So I don't know if you wanted to do that, but something you could do.
That's good.
Yeah. Do. They're gonna go see this game, huh?
Placing alarm bot.
Oh.
Here.
I capped. There's a smoke here.
Spike down
So
A.
it doesn't seem like anyone else. Confident, fast rotate. Except there's one B.
Down.
Real sad. So this is just a good thing. I think you sent me the image, but sometimes you, one of the images you had like rotating through here.
It is
This would be that
one.
time. Yeah. this would be that time here. Just because your teammates have A space and they're fighting aggro.
Right down.
It's all good. It's gonna work regardless. Did he ult spike? Oh my god, he did.
Spike
Oh,
planted.
well, you owned this guy. Actually owned.
Spike planted.
Nice.
One enemy remaining.
Swim planner.
Placing swarm grenade.
It has to be heaven, I think.
Watch your eyes.
Yeah, nice. Good flash. What's up, Kiro? So, really minor tweaks on defense for this map, and like in particular, because it's not very common for the killer to contest. We're just playing a lot of A rotates, to be honest. Should be a good round of ults, if you can retake stairs. There's a guy close right.
We'll catch them.
Enemy spot A.
All good. A lot of this is kind of the life of a sentinel. I won't lie. You're gonna retake A the entire game if teammates can't hold it. So,
How out?
like some realm of possibility, you could rotate to play A, but that's not in the cards for this week.
If I am
Okay.
rotating through there, do you think it's good for me to break the thing immediately? To go
The
through?
breakable door? Yeah.
Okay.
It's honestly a little fucked though. Like all the fights from that little breakable door, honestly, are terrible. I can't even lie
Yeah,
to you.
it's a little scary. So
Yeah.
that's why I've been avoiding it.
This fight here is bad for us. 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 But if you can make it out of here, the rest of the fights, once you're out of here, like pinching the site or going and retaking tree, are all good for us.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's a little bit tough, but I don't know if you can even get your mollies here. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. It's tough. I can't lie. The rotate to go here though is like if you see that a lot of them tree or a lot of them site, then you can like pinch them and like open the door. Like this is the most common thing to do. Like open the door and then you just like play really slow here, and you don't even like go inside. You just like try and put pressure on them, and you might get like a kill or something. And then you just like spam open this door and just make them uncomfortable. And then if they're already deep on site, then of course you take tree and then like now you just pinch them. But yeah. It's tough. As a killjoy with ult though, like typically your checkpoint to get to is here because your ult covers everything. Now this ult is technically spammable, which is kind of annoying because like, they can shoot it through the wall. So the more common killjoy ults to do if you don't want it to get broken is here, but it doesn't hit tree. So like they can still be tree, so kind of lame. If you can get all the way out here, you can do this one that clears tree, but now this one's like, you've pretty much already cleared half of the bomb site already. By clearing like this. This ult kind of just feels a little bit pointless. So definitely the most common one is this one, but like I said, it is spammable. So after you pop this one, you have to like punish anyone trying to spam it, basically.
Gotcha.
If you do go through breakable, like this, then you can do your killjoy ult here, and then you clear tree. But what you need to know is that this wall is actually spammable too. So honestly, this is an ult that attackers typically use, not defenders. Because yeah, but I think you can do this one here, and it's not spammable. So yeah, there's no wall for that. So yeah, a lot of spammable walls on Lotus apparently, but killjoy ult for a retake is decent.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, there's not really much to do on these rounds when they start A. You kind of just hope. Oh, they're coming too, maybe. Yeah, get our molly. Okay, we won't use our molly. But this would be a good round for us to do molly and then play for your site hold. So let's kind of just, I'll walk through this really quickly. Round start, put your turret B, maybe put your molly B if you want bonus points. You run over here, pop this molly real quick. Okay, barriers dropping, you have this out, you put your alarm bot here, put it better because I have a gap there. Then you hear them come C, then you might like backpedal and throw your molly here, and then you play bend. And then you'll notice your turret's going to go down, but that's okay because you hear a lot of them C.
Yeah.
So then they start coming C, you pop your molly, and then you like off angle for this first kill here, probably. Or if you have that, if you're ballsy, you could pop the molly and then you swing left side. This angle here as a defender is very good. You catch a lot of people off guard. And if there's a smoke here, you can keep going and then you like look for the players as they're coming out here. And if they're all out, then you can jump on this box. So you can kind of imagine how ratty you get if you're playing like Cypher. You have a cage here or like a Viper orb. Like it gets pretty ratty, but that's kind of how to play this bend position. In the future, you might have like a full site setup where you have double molly like this, so that this corner gets mollied. So if I pop these, this one was kind of bad, but you would have your mollies kind of like this, so that anyone that dashes here, because it's very common, gets mollied, and that W key here into you, and you get the kill. So this is kind of like what a Killjoy C site setup would look like. It's like, okay, they dash in, you hear the dash, or you hear the raise satchel, you hear the Omen TP, or the Yoru TP, whatever, you pop mollies, and then you just hold this, and they just swing into you, get the free kill, because they have to run from this corner.
Maybe that's why I have the 2 mollies there. I just haven't used them yet to see.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially because like your starting position kind of won't let you, but after this alarm bot, you would have to immediately knife out to go to bend to make it. So even better one for the box that Inspire does. I believe it. He's got some nice setups. But the way we're playing Killjoy now, by playing more like info util like this, your molly would be, after you put this, you would just molly the choke like this, and then that would just delay for time, and then you only have 1 molly for the site hold, but you'll be able to pop it when the jet dashes, and then hopefully your teammate smoked. So now the rest of the team can't run through the smoke, and then you can go wide and you wait for the jet smoke to fade, and then you kill them. And then after you get this kill, you probably get close to the smoke, and then hopefully you kill another one or something. But that's typically how that site hold would go. Let's see how this plays out though. You can just play your Killjoy ult too, there's nothing wrong with that.
Swarm grenade out.
The Killjoy ult for this site is here in this corner. It's like the best retake ult because it gets everything aside from this little thing, and then you push them all the way out here. So this is the best one. For attackers, you do this one here, this corner. You get all the site. It's kind of hard to see the lines, but there's a corner here that's open, but you have the whole site. So.
Placing swarm grenade.
Placing swarm grenade.
Launching smoke.
Delaying bomb plant was good there. Looks like we're gonna win this retake. That fatal hit everything. Might be a player close right. No, we're good, I think. Wow, Aaron Urena's pinching. This is like an actual good retake. I'm impressed. The ult here is honestly not worth it, just because the retake's going so well already. But
Enemy remaining.
Go team, go. Yeah, that was actually a really good retake. Your Reyna was flanking through the door. Your Phoenix made it out with the Fade Prowler and the ult, so things are good there. The thing to change from our end is potentially playing on site or using your retake ult earlier.
It's my job.
But obviously we're still learning, so no judgment.
Yeah, I was contemplating it because Fade used her ult, so I was like, is it worth it to do twice? I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, honestly, typically I would say no. Okay, so you see how this guy breaks your turret? Well, maybe let's talk about this turret really quickly first. This turret is on a really deep line. So the first angle that this player sees is the turret. So that means as a defender, you can pretty much always rotate through B safely because this turret should have you. The only time it doesn't work is if an Omen goes here, then TP's across without us knowing, and then he's holding your rotate here. But if that happens in our rank, like fucking he deserves it. You know what I mean? So the more common thing is people just walk into it on the B-lurk, so you can pretty much just knife out rotate here safely, and then when the turret gets broken, you can turn around. So regardless, the fastest rotate in this game, instead of going this way, you can almost always just go this way and then jump into heaven to go that way, or you can go breakable because the turret should have you every time.
Okay.
Which we go heaven here, so.
And it would have been nice to have
back.
the molly.
The molly,
in that area, yeah.
Exactly. But he broke the turret from, somehow I turned on captions. He broke the turret from back here. Right, this is the first angle they break it. So when you know that, you should, if you're here, be able to peek and get this angle back. Like they can't be in B site yet, is my point. So you're kind of holding like this, like they could be out. You should just disrespect it and hold the angle again.
Okay.
Last player standing.
Run, bro, run.
Yeah, 1v5.
Run. You can do it. You can do it.
Spike planted.
Good.
Ace.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade
This would be
out.
an incredibly difficult ace. Auntie. No sprays. Oh, we have 3C. Oh, no, 2C. Nothing B. It's just rotate A simulator. I mean, this is honestly kind of what I was expecting to see on Lotus. It's pretty normal for them to start a lot of A. So here's an alternative thing that could happen, which I don't think is included in any of our screenshots. But the option to push our lane. So let's kind of walk through this really quickly. Right here, they make A pressure. We put the alarm bot, whatever, but then we realize there's a ton of A. Now we can just pick up our alarm bot and then just like walk push C. And eventually you'll get on a flank. That's option one for this map. On Ascent, we kind of saw Nats do it, but like instead of rotating, you can like just walk through this way. On Haven, the common thing to do on this map is like walk down C or walk out grass, but basically like take space if they're starting on one side of the map. So Haven, this one's tough, but let's kind of just walk through the scenario really quickly from the lens of Cypher, and then we'll go back to Killjoy. So Cypher, typically their setup is this: trip B, trip garage, and then if the Cypher is playing aggressive, they will do aggro cam C here to get the lane here. And then from here, if he sees nothing and the enemy team has shown A pressure, normally off the top of this dart, or if your teammate sees like 3 or 4, the common play for the Cypher now, instead of rotating, because the rotate is very far, is instead to push forward to contain them on this line, so that if they do come back, you know, and otherwise like you can keep flanking and then like box them in towards the A. So that's like one example of the Cypher rotate. Or example 2 is to go out grass to look for the lurker, either in like one of these corners. I would say this one is the most common, potentially this corner. If you want to go down that deep, you might find someone here, and you might find someone here. So that is kind of from the lens of Cypher. So what does that look like for Killjoy? Honestly, it's a little bit harder, but you typically have your alarm bot here, and then you have your turret that kind of sees both lanes. I forget how you throw it. Something.
Yeah, it's on the stairs, like a little off the stairs, I guess.
Gotcha. And then you have your molly here. So at this point, we don't have C info, but you're kind of playing garage. And then if they make a ton of A pressure, again, you know, maybe that subdart's there or whatever, you might actually just walk out garage to look for this fight, and kind of the same thing. You're looking for the corners here. So basically, you have 2 options when you're playing like the far side of your map, like the extremity. If they're going heavy this side, it's good for us to like take this. Map control is kind of often described as like a push and pull. So if attackers push this, you push this, and your teammates pull back here while you're pushing this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But again, it's kind of high level what I'm asking you to do, but it's another option that I wanted to give you, because playing a retake all the time from here or here or here gets very difficult. So if you know you're going to be in an A retake, instead of retaking from this heaven choke point or the stairs choke point or this breakable choke point, you can try retaking A from flank by going all the way through here instead. And that typically opens up some better fights on some maps, because getting through some choke points are very difficult. So like we kind of established, going through breakable here is very hard. So on Haven, for example, the A retake on Haven is notoriously difficult unless you have Killjoy ult. So if you're playing like this garage side, it would likely be better for you to take the risk to go out mid, to go for these flank fights, and then try and win the retake from flank, because getting through these choke points here are damn near impossible, unless you have Killjoy ult, of course. So I don't know if that made sense, but that is something to consider. I'm trying to think about what ranked players do that. Nats definitely is not like one of them. He's definitely is a rotator. You definitely see it in a pro play more than ranked.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a tough one. Maybe like, I wonder if Benji Fishy would do something like that in ranked, but it's something to try just because you played like a retake like 5 or 6 rounds so far.
Yeah.
So pushing C mountain could be a good alternative for sure. Chiwa? I don't even know who that is. Is that a EU team? EU
Spike
player, I mean?
planted.
Oh, I hate this breakable fight. And they planted C too. Yeah, this round's over. It's cooked! This is also a benefit of pushing your lane. So like let's play this round back out, but just staying at the minimap. If you instead push C here, like your Brim's here too, so it could be good to double push C. What happened was they ended up canceling A and going back to C. So as you're rotating up here, you'd basically be like here right now. And this guy, after his kill, he runs back to C. You would intercept that and you would stop them from going here. So pushing your side here is good for when they cancel their hit, basically. But also sets you up for a decent retake because you have the flank. But yeah, that's kind of just what happened here. They ended up going for the C lurk, or maybe more so they just died early A and they just ran away. And you'd be able to counter that. So that's not something I do at the start of the game, by the way. Normally oh, we got kills here. We don't have time, but normally that's something I do off the adaptation from the game. Like if they're doing a lot of fakes or they're defaulting a lot, I'll push my lane instead. It's good kills, but it's a bit rough.
You want to
play,
play? Let's play.
BBL. Yeah, so same thing here. If you look at minimap really quickly, we didn't get the info like on all of them right away.
You want to play? Let's
but
play.
we do see the chamber. So at this point, like I might cautiously push C. And then we saw 2 more, but here we see 3, and then we saw the chamber earlier. So Fnatic has a comm. They say bingo when everyone on the map is accounted for. So in this case, it's bingo towards A. You could knife out and flank, for example. You could go here, or if you are already like cautiously pushing C, you might get to here, and then you see everyone, you would just knife out and go all the way. So that could be a good way to do it.
I like that. I like bingo.
I like bingo. I was like, oh my god, that's a genius comm. But it seems like we didn't account for bingo here.
No.
But yeah, honestly, again, the A hold just no bueno. Even if you did flank, you'd probably run into a tripwire here, and then you would run into this angle and then die to this op. So like, it's not going to be a round changing solution, potentially, but the fights are probably going to be better regardless. Oh wait, we actually can win. Last one planner. Oh my god. Oh, we made noise. You can do that drop silent. Yeah.
I didn't know.
If you did that silent, you would have won probably. But those are some banger shots. That first one. Yeah, nice.
Spike planted. 1 enemy remaining.
Ah, that's so sad. I don't know if you knew he had an op too, but typically, if you know they have an op, you need to spam jiggle the angle so you don't die. Like your goal is to bait the shot. So like jiggle. You're basically trying to just reveal your shoulder. You won't even see them on your screen when they shoot, but you're just trying to like let them see your shoulder. So if I'm trying to jiggle the op right here, like at this point, like he's gonna shoot a bullet. Like at some point, boom, he shoots, and then you just go wide, and then you catch him. Or at the very least, you can get space, but it's very hard. It's very hard. Just know that you almost never wide swing an opper. It's very rare.
Oh, I started building my 1 brain cell list. I'll add that to it. Never wide swing the op.
Never wide swing the op. That's a good one. And always flank on bingo. That's a good one
Always
too.
flank on bingo.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
Nice. Wow, we insta-broke that. Oh. Nice. Oh my god. Wait, that second kill? That was impressive, I can't lie. You like controlled the burst on that guy. Yeah, good kills. Obviously, we have the molly. That would make things a lot easier.
Yeah.
But that was good. That was good. I think again, defense is going to be small tweaks. I would be more interested in learning defense or like buffing up our defense rather than attack. So I don't really think we have to spend too much time or time looking at attack, but it'll probably be the same things as Ascent. Anti-flood mollies or finding a lurk. Just to quickly show those actually. If I'm not going to cover it in the VOD, I just want to quickly show it. So typically Killjoys, we do this turret here while they walk up front B. If your teammates are starting A, you would alarm about your C flank. If your teammates are starting C, you're alarmed about your A flank. And then you just walk up The turret has all of your angles here, so you're vibing. From here, you either jiggle everything. What I like to do is I just tight peek this first one, and then I'll like jiggle these other ones pretty much. And then now this is your lurk. You can, if you're playing against Killjoy, you can just break the turret and then leave. Or if there's no sentinel, you can just keep looking for your fights. So that would be the lurk thing if you're a lurk. But the benefit of doing this lurk actually isn't to break the util or even find a kill. If your teammates are going C, it's to catch the guy opening the door. Now, I don't know if anyone ever opens the door in your rank, but sometimes when you will go C in the higher ranks, they trap play. So like the Omen will play here, and they open the door and throw a blinds like in this line. And then the teammates here will fight while this guy's opening the door and fighting. So by lurking front B, you stop that pinch. Gotcha. So that's honestly, you probably won't see that until like maybe Ascendant. Probably, if I had to guess. But that's one of the main reasons why you go for this front B walk. The other reason to go for this front B walk is if your teammates start A and they get smoked off here, a lot of players will pivot by breaking this door and going B. So if you're breaking that door and going B, you being B main stops these players from being in B main, but then you also get this early line on the C rotate, which if these guys are rotating in from here, they can't see that C player yet. They can only see heaven. Yeah. So you being here, you can stop the guy, or you could kill the guy on the box maybe. Like some people will hold this from here, so you can kill that guy. So it's just good to have the split basically. But that would be option one for Lotus. Otherwise, you just go with the team. So if you're going with the team A, I think the common thing to do is just like turret this for your back. And then you just go A with the homies. And then there's like a smoke here. If you're hitting the site, you just throw your molly there so they can't run out of it. And then if you want, you can alarm bot the smoke. Maybe you molly it again. And this is the whole anti-flood thing here. So that's kind of what you could do. There's like some lineup you could probably learn to molly back site. I think it's like depends on how high you aim it, I think. But sometimes you can get it to bounce. This is how my raise nade just fucks up every single time. Yeah, you can see that one worked. So it's this one's hard. I don't really throw this one consistently. But you could probably learn something. I think there's like a molly that you can land in heaven. Yeah, so you could do some stuff, but basically anti-flood util, boom, that's your anti-flood for A. If your teammates are all going B, again, you probably just do some flank util. So if we're going B, you probably just run up and put your turret here or even here or in this corner, whatever. And then your anti-flood util would be molly here, activate, peek heaven. If you want, you can molly heaven. And then now you're just going out. So that's for that. If you're going C, honestly, I don't know where people put their turret for C. Let's just say you put it here. Yeah, let's just say you put it here. Take C, you know, go team go, spam the box, whatever. Your anti-flood util for C would be this. So right side of this corner, bounce here for pillar and CT so they can't run out. That'd be the most important one to throw. Alternatively, you could throw it off here or both. This one lands for that waterfall angle here. So you stop this guy from running through. So now here's the thing. No way this is smoked off. So throwing both of these are kind of difficult. So as Vice, what I like to do is throw it off of this thing. But I don't know if this works for Killjoy. Oh yeah, there you go. So it lands here. And then there's a smoke here and then they can't run through. But it's easier to throw with Vice because it has more oomph. The Killjoy molly is like very slow. So you might, like normally you don't have to jump throw it with the other agents, but I think if I just throw it with Killjoy, it's not going to land where I want it to. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it kind of works, but yeah, that's an option. But if you're okay with doing it with the smoke here, you can kind of get a good feel for it sometimes, even with the smokers there to do this backside one. But it would be ideal for you to be able to do these with the smokes there. Otherwise, this is a alternative option, but I keep missing it.
So it might be a little more difficult for me.
Yeah, so that's the anti-flood thing for Lotus. So that's attack. Like I said, attack's not even the important thing to me because I think it's kind of simple. Just molly the smokes or walk up somewhere. But defense, similar thing that we're seeing on Ascent. We're playing a lot of retake because the enemy team isn't coming to our site. So we have a few options. Maybe I'll put this at the top here. Okay, so now I'm going to list those options. fast rotate, which we've been doing. Fast flank, especially if bingo, all enemies spotted. And then option, what would be the other option? Fast rotate, fast flank. That's pretty much it, I think, right? Slow flank into fast flank. Let's just leave it at this. Maybe I'll get rid of fast flank, especially if bingo's all spotted. So those are the two. We've been doing this. It's not working as well as it could be. This one is an attempt to get onto the site before having to play retake. This one is an attempt to get a good flank in because we know we will likely be playing retake. That's kind of what I would say here. And then I'll maybe in general, if you have ultimate, you will be rotating instead of flanking. Okay. And then obviously mollies, throw mollies on checkpoint to delay. Yeah. Okay. Pretty straightforward, I think, from my point of view on what tweaks to make for defense. And attack, again, it's going to be the same thing here. Do you feel like everything was clear enough and you have enough of a direction to go forward this week?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. In terms of homework, did you want to take on the homework of learning those mollies for anti-flood?
Yeah, I think that would be helpful.
Okay, so let's go down here.
And maybe it would make me feel more confident in using the mollies too.
For sure. Create, maybe learn mollies for the anti-flood on all bomb sites on all maps. Note that some of these will be lineups and others will be off the fly. Like the Sea Lotus one, for example. What is bingo? All enemies are spotted on the minimap or something. Cool. I don't think I have anything else for you here. Oh, I wanted to ask the the aim training. How's that been going?
It's been fine. I messaged you privately that like it has definitely made my arm feel heavier after. So I am glad that we're doing it after, because I asked you, I was like, wait, why are we doing the aim training after instead of like as a warm up or something? It does make me a little tired after. Like it's actual exercise for me, someone who does not exercise.
No, I mean I exercise and it's still fatiguing for me. So there's just a lot going on there.
Yeah, I recorded a couple of them of me going through the aim training.
I'll take a look.
I'm not sure if I'm doing them like the right way or like if I'm reading it wrong. So if you do want to look through it and see and just double check, that would be helpful.
Heard. There's I don't know if you used a feature on Aim Labs, but there's like the replay thing. That's normally what I do. So I'll look at a run from the leaderboard.
UI is really confusing to me. I don't know. I'm just like next. That's the only button I've been clicking.
AimLab's UI has notoriously been confusing. They're doing better though. Like if this is confusing for you, you should have seen where it was a couple of years ago. It was bad, but now it's like usable. Okay. But I definitely understand.
Yeah, I can explore it a little bit more, but I was just trying to get through the playlist. No, for sure. It was hard for me to find the playlist in the first place. If I don't click the link immediately, I'm like, I don't even know where to go to find. Like, I favorited it, so it's easier to find now. But at first, I was like, where is the playlist? I don't know.
Yeah, that's also another thing. Kovacs shares playlists a lot easier because it's just a code. The AimLab stuff is a bit rough, but yeah.
But it
how's
works
the
out,
length?
So.
Gotcha.
I think
how's
the length is fine. Yeah.
Okay. And how's the difficulty? Too easy? Too hard?
Well, I don't know if I'm doing them right. It's nice that sometimes like it'll tell me, "Oh, your high score improved." I'm like, "Okay, I must be doing something right." So
Right.
That's basically what I've been basing it off of. So it feels good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look and see where we're at with it. Yeah, I'll give feedback on that, but it'll be interesting to see how it affects our gameplay. Because one of the reasons why I chose some of those scenarios were to try and teach us the tension management, because some of those scenarios is really difficult to play by being tense all the time. And as we're kind of seeing as we play, we have like those little like micro stutters.
Yeah.
So some of those was designed to address that. But yeah, I'll take a look and try and give a bit more closer feedback. The caveat I will say is I'm not an aim coach. I just play aim trainers. I have been aim coached, but I'm definitely not as knowledgeable as some of these other people. So
Gotcha.
I'll do my best with it though.
So I need to hire another coach to do my
definitely not necessary for this game. It's more of a bonus than anything. Yeah. Defense, switch up a couple things, small tweaks. Attack, just learn the mollies for the anti-flood. I should say for attack. And keep doing the aim training stuff. I'll give you some feedback on that, and we'll see where we are next week.
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty, Path. Looking good. Hopefully we can ride this wave up. I mean, the Sentinel looks strong, I think. It's definitely, I think it matches our playstyle a bit more than the Reyna. So you seem more confident on it too.
Yeah. Well, the mapping helps a lot, I think.
Gotcha. The Valor Plant stuff?
Yeah, just having a plan in general. I feel like with
Heard.
Duelist, my brain was just like, okay, I just need to look for fights, like, and it's kind of hard to predict where people are, so it's more difficult for me, I think.
For sure. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, and I will see you again next week.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Of course, likewise. Peace, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let me leave this call. Hello, chat. Goodbye, Dopeye chatters. I do want to say thank you to Levisiv for raiding earlier. Sorry I didn't acknowledge it when it happened. I get really anxious about talking to whoever I'm on stream with and also talking to chat, so please excuse that. Also, thank you to Tylo for resubscribing with Prime. Happy 6 months to us. Thank you, Dion, for the tier 1, and Tech Black for the Prime yesterday. Hope to see both of you in the green room. I really appreciate it. I don't plan on being on for too much longer today because I do have my meeting at 7 and I would like to eat beforehand. Dopeye, thank you for raiding and thank you for your time today.
Dope TV raid with 25 viewers.
I feel like there was something that I did want to talk about, but now my brain is just Valorant mode. I played so much last week, like an obnoxious amount. I'm wondering if like maybe I'm overplaying. Like maybe I've hit the limit. I'm down 87 RR from last week. Woohoo! But that's fine. The new follower alert is cute. Thanks. I made it this morning. Do you like it? I was just curious to test out like the custom CSS stuff, so just I was like, what can I do quickly? It's just a picture. You can never play too much Valorant. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. Also, I don't know if you noticed from that VOD, I bought 2 new skins. Ah! Very Emily is away, yeah. Very inspired by Windows 95. PC stands for Path Computer. I'm so stoked. It's gonna be a good week. New season of The Bear on Wednesday, a new season of Squid Game. Well, I haven't even watched the last season, so I don't know if I'll watch the new season on Friday, but you know, more content to enjoy and procrastinate working on Path React stuff. I do want to work on it this week though. I know I've been saying that for the past 2 weeks, but I do want to work on it this week. We are playing Clair Obscur, so the part 2 will be on Wednesday. Here's what I'm considering. Okay, for the Split Fiction VOD, originally I wanted it to be uploaded as all one long movie, like just stitch all 3 episodes together so that it was like You can just sit and watch the whole thing and fall asleep to it if you really want to. However, I found out that YouTube's upload limit is 12 hours. So I would either have to edit it or upload it in multiple parts, which might as well just edit it in all or upload it in all 3 parts. So here's my thinking. Since we have no stream on Saturday, maybe for the VODs channel, I just upload part 1, 2, and 3 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then on Sunday, I upload our Wednesday VOD, which is going to be Claire Obscure Part 2. That's my plan now. Put it in 1.25. Actually, probably, I mean, I don't think anyone would notice if I did. Maybe I should try that. That might be a good idea. I don't think anyone would notice. And if they do, it would be funny. When are you dropping your rap mixtape? I don't think I would ever do a rap mixtape. I think the closest that I would do to that is making a slam book or a poetry book or something, but it's been years since I've written any poetry. Like literally probably over 12 years now. Because I was way more into poetry when I was like 16. It's called Pebble Bed on Spotify. What the? That's not rap. So now it's a TV series. What are we talking about? We all know you have the Kitty diss track. Unlocked. No, I would never. I would never. What other news can I update you on? I don't think I have any. Rhymes and poetry equals rap. You've got this path. You're right. You're right. It's just, you know, there's so much pressure on it now. You have to have a good beat. You have to have a good backdrop. You have to have marketing in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, no one's going to listen or no one's going to find it in the day and age of algorithms. You get to any of the media club this month? No, because I was listening to my French audiobook and then I found out that Spotify's audiobook has a limit of how much you can listen to in a month and then your credits get refreshed, which is so stupid. $10 on top of my €15, probably more now because they just update or just increase their pricing for the Duo plan. Oh my god, Spotify is just like slowly stealing all of my money. And I think the €10 is just for like, I can't remember, I posted a screenshot in Green Room, but it was only like 10 extra hours of audiobook listening. But that was taking up a lot of my month, or a lot of the time that I usually allocate to Media Club stuff. And it's not Media Club related, so unfortunately I haven't. However, I will be downloading a couple movies to watch on a train ride soon this weekend. So I will be taking Media Club into that. Do you think OKC was a fair NBA winner? I don't know. I don't know anything. Yeah, sure. Fair and square. Unless you don't think so, then no, of course not. What the hell, it was rigged. I did see some people live tweeting about a game. Wrong answer? Which one? So I think someone like broke his leg or something. Never mind, right answer. I don't know anything. I haven't been following. I've literally been like under a rock for the past couple of weeks. Obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the news that like I've low-key been, every time I've been reading it, I'm like, oh god, I'm just so grateful to have my job now, where I can feel like I'm actually doing something positive in the world. Which, segue, I have to go to a meeting for in about 15 minutes, so I guess I'll close out there. Oh, he tore his Achilles heel? His Achilles? His Achilles? Would you race speed? No. Because I can sprint. Well, I used to be able to sprint. I haven't sprinted in a long time, so I don't think I have the stamina for it anymore. But I will leave you there. thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, Dopai, for the time today. Hopefully, more wins this week in Valorant. You can always do !Valorant to see my progress there. We have a bunch of Valorant custom API calls, actually, if you're interested. Most people don't care. I thought it was fun to make. Anyway, let's see who's online. We'll give a quick little... I don't know how I feel about this image being my face, though. It's just the gasp emoji, but, like, what if we change it? What if we change it to, like, the squid beak and it's, like, cheering or something? Anyway, just some thoughts. Let's see who's online. Well, let's see who... Oh, Sean's online. Sean's online. Let's raid Sean. It's been a while, and I think Sean raided us last time, so... Thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you're having a good morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I hope you have a good one. Sean's ads will start in 1 minute, so I might lead you directly into them. So sorry about that. But I will see you on Wednesday for some more Claire Obscure. Okay. Bye. 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 Hello? Bye. 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 Oh, also I figured out how to do the... Dude, hold on. Low-key, I found out that I was using the wrong voice, or I was using the wrong output. So I wasn't even using Banana Meter for my audio. Anyway, now I can use the voice changer directly. And in my last couple games, I've been using
this one because it's a little more monotone and not as obvious if it's male or female, which is perfect for me because originally I was like, maybe I use
this one, but I kind of hate it. There was one game where I used this one.
And I was like, GG. And then everyone was like, what the fuck? Are you speaking from a cave? Anyway, okay, that's now for real. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna go eat now, and then go to my meeting.
I could also do this one. How do we feel about this one? I don't know, maybe we don't like it. I like the robot one. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe it makes more sense for Valorant. Where is it? Robots pack.
Robot soldier. We're pushing in 3, 2, 1. I lie. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, bye.
Pushed around, always lost, not found, but I didn't realize. Like a giant standing in my way, leading me astray. Now it's time for me to rise. I knew I had to find myself. Turns out I'm on my own. I won't let it go.
Unedited just inside.
Pretend to run. The fire in my heart burns in your shadow. The sound of the light can begin to rust, and I get who I can and cannot trust. I won't let it go. I won't let it go.
Mm.